As a small guard, you can never shoot the same shot every time. Because understand, right? Van Vliet gets off the screen. He's got Kessler in front of him. And now, if he wants to be able to shoot the same shot like he always does right here, it's not going to be possible because he's going to get his beat to the crowd, right? And so notice how he has to shoot this shot. Notice. That shit about 20 feet in the air. It's almost out the frame, my guy. It's almost out the frame. And so if you think I could be a small guard, shoot everything the same exact way every single time I shoot, that's not good. It's not logical, especially when you're going against competition that is way taller than you. And so now what ends up happening? Pure net. Pure. Another way to get ahead of the curve as a small guard. Y'all got to be more active, and being more active means being more conditioned. Watch Van Vliet as a defender, right? Minute into the game or 46 minutes into the game, he's still going to be doing shit like this, right? Picking up full court, and just watch his overall level of activity to where even when he drops back day into a set, he switches, he's up. He realizes this person's not trying to score, so what do? Step up, use my hands, use all the length that I have, pause, right? Pause. And now, boom, he gives that up. Hendricks got the ball in the middle of the floor. And so me being on that top side, what do I try to decide to do? Blow up the play and try to get a steal. I don't get it. Get out for the closeout. And that's a situation where a lot of y'all do get messed up. Y'all get out the play on that closeout, try to leak out. But regardless, look what Van Vliet does. Look what he does. Gets right back into play. Give me that steal. The activity levels on a player like Fred Van Vliet, something y'all got to pick up on. And now get out in transition. Get Jalen Green that dunk right there. At 6 foot in the NBA, right? Van Vliet had 34 and has multiple games where he shot double-digit threes. And the key to being a small guard and being able to get buckets is being able to play off the catch. But this one skill I can guarantee you is going to take your catch and shoot game to a whole nother level. Every single time Van Vliet shoots, he had 10 threes this game, by the way. Notice his base. Notice how low he gets, right? Watch. He gets low and he gets loaded. So once he catches, he's not dipping, and then he's only going up. He's getting that shot up quicker. Less movement is going to make you more efficient because there's less room for error. And so watch how that continues to play out going forward throughout the rest of this breakdown. What a lot of y'all point guards would do is that when y'all get into this middle of the floor and you throw a pass to a teammate that's open and now it slips out their hand and you get called for the turnover, you would go on defense, hang your head, and be mad at your teammate because you got the turnover. Watch what Fred Van Vliet does, because this is what y'all got to do, right? Look, even though he did turn it over, I get back on the other side. I'm not hanging my head. I'm not mad at my teammate. I'm not cursing. None of that. It's just the game. Shit happens. If you want to be able to thrive as a small guard, you got to understand what you're about to step into in actions before you get into it. And so with this pick and roll, Landale going to his right side, you got Collins who guarding Landale. Jazz been playing the drop coverage. And so understanding that, I can now get into this bag right here. Pull up threes, right? And so as I even get into this push cross, right? As I even get into this right here, I'm just looking at John Collins. How far up is he? Do I have room for a shot? I got the room. I pull that. And so when you know exactly what to read according to what coverage you got, that's how you're going to be able to maximize your scoring. Like I even said before, shooting off the catch is going to be your best friend as a small guard, right? And y'all got to have this skill. So Van Vliet gets this catch, right? Chris Dunn baiting. And notice what he does. Pass fake. Look at his base. He's vertical. But what is he going to do before he shoots? Right back into that base. Because you need that for that energy transfer and that flow to get that shot up and to just keep it smooth and fluid. Y'all need that. I guarantee you. Start doing that. Make sure you're loaded just like he was there on the balls of your feet. Your shot going to feel 10 times better. Another important concept when it comes to just playing off the catch, right? You got Dylan Brooks, got into the paint, got two. Swing here. Jeff Green didn't even bring the ball down, kept the high swing. Jalen Green kept the high swing. Now watch what Fred Van Vliet does, right? When the pass gets thrown, he's moving further left with the pass and moving with the rhythm of the ball. And so now what this causes the defender who's going to be in rotation to do, if he decided to stay in the same spot right here and Chris Dunn rotated, he probably would have got a hand up on that. But Van Vliet, behind the line, far behind the line as well at that, knocks that down. So y'all got to learn how to use your feet and use the ball to get rhythm into your shot. Y'all wonder, how could someone be able to just catch this, step in slow, and be able to shoot from this deep? How do you get enough energy and power to be able to knock that shot down? It boils down to one thing. It boils down to one thing, I guarantee you. Y'all could probably already guess it. This one thing gonna take your shot and turn it from being shitty to being elite. Watch. That base. Y'all need that base. If you don't have a base, it's gonna be hard to be able to transfer energy from the bottom, from your feet, then all the way to the tips of your fingers and be able to have a good follow through and good release. It's vital. Y'all need to add it. Look, this is kind of funny though, right? So if you're an undersized guard, you gonna get beat sometimes. You gotta face the fact. You gotta accept it, right? And so situations like this, you chase over the top, you behind him, and now you got a big man right here. You can't do shit with the ball if it gets thrown over, right? He gets behind this. So either you do nothing or you just do this. You just foul him, right? So he doesn't even get to the free throw line. He doesn't get the layup. Those are smart fouls that you got to pick up as a guard. Don't try to knock somebody on their ass, on their head, on their back. But what you got to do, though, is make sure they don't get that easy, too. Now, even in transition, even with built-up speed, you know VanVleet is hot. But what's the one thing that's always going to be maintained, right? Look, base, even with the speed, and now also shooting from deep because he can't get hugged up on the line because I'm a smaller guard. Y'all got to even practice how to shoot maybe a foot or two behind the line that you use. And then even if you're not comfortable with that, if your form is inconsistent, make sure you get your base, try it again. And if that, even if with the base it still doesn't feel right, you got to now go back into the paint and work on the fundamentals and make sure you build the right muscle memory. So now even he pulls that from the A in Toyota, and you know where it's going, in the hole. Defensively as a small guard, right, they're going to try to attack you. Now, what do you do in these situations, right? How are you able to ease the difficulty of this job? By playing smart. So watch what VanVleet does, right? He never tries to get chest to chest. He has one hand out. Taylor Hendricks goes for the bump. He embraces the bump. Goes for another bump, embraces that again, tries to get the reach. Watch what he does now. Third time's a charm. I pulled the chair. Fooled him. Even though he did end up getting that layup, a lot of players who are unbalanced like that are going to miss that. So that's a good defensive possession ultimately by VanVleet. This whole time, he's had 34 in this entire game. We done seen straight threes. He's maybe had 2 layups, 1 layup this whole game, right? So understand this. So when you're trying to actually finish at the rim, at this point, you're not going to finish that. You got Hendricks, 6'10", 6'11". You got Collins on his weak side, both plus wingspans. So now at this point, instead of trying to say, how could I finish at the rim? How could I be able to get space? How could I use the fact that they're chasing me? Where could I get to get a clean look? And that's why small guards also need that floater, because you're not going to be able to get these finger rolls and these lays around the rim just because you're so small. And then also, you may not be blessed with, say, having a Ja Morant level of athleticism as well. VanVleet defending again. This is not just offense, how do I get buckets? How could you guard as a small player, right? As a small guard. So, boom, right here. He's on the ball, right? Boom, switch on to Hendricks. Now, you remember what happened last time. He got scored on, despite the fact that he did end up hollowing him out. And this is what you got to do at any opportunity as a small guard, which is when you do get these switches, now you off-ball switch, right? And luckily, the ball was too late to be able to read who was open. And now I made that skip. VanVleet gets that close, hand up, and ultimately they end up getting that stop. So you got to really learn how to off-ball switch. That's going to be key for y'all small guards. Notice Sexton, right? Calls off the screen. He don't want Reggie Bullock. I'll take VanVleet. He's a small defender. And this is where, just as a small guard, I can't do the same shit I did last time to, what's his name, number 8 right here, where I was reaching when he had the ball to dribble. This is Sexton, right? I just got to be disciplined here, stay in front. And if I just stay disciplined, I stay in front, I could trust my teammates to be able to get here and also bring my help. And I know that I'm not guarding alone. And y'all got to understand that. Where's my help? And trust your help as well. I talked about this concept a little bit in my Paulo stream last time, but Paulo was 6'10", and he could be able to hook certain passes over defenses. Being a small guard, you can't do that same thing, right? You have to find more creative ways to be able to get that pass over defenses. And so in this situation for VanVleet, he's getting right. This is the person that you must read on this tag, and this is the person you must get the pass over. And so now, like I said, he can't be able to get here and hook this. He's too small. So he has to find creative ways like this. Dribble, boom, jump pass, skip it to the corner, right? To where I could get that pass up quick and give the defense minimal time to be able to pre-rotate to a pass they already see coming.